Alright, we're here to do a first video of making a bow drill set and using the bow drill set to make fire. This first video we're going to go over the basic parts, and I'm going to do some roughing out of them and getting them ready. The second video will take it from there with refinement of the parts and burning them in and getting it ready to make a bow drill coal, and then the last one will be making a fire with the set. So the basic parts are the fireboard, flat board that sits on the ground, the spindle, which is the dynamic spinning part, and the handhold, which allows you to hold and keep in position the spindle, and then the bow, which allows you to spin the spindle using a cord. So the most difficult, or the part that takes the most serious attention, is going to be your spindle. You probably, if you're a student, you probably received a chunk that looks something like this, a square split out piece of basswood. Aged basswood. It's important to note that you don't want it to be from a fresh, live harvested tree. You want an old dead tree that still has some good integrity, but is weakened or degraded enough that you can do a thumbnail test. So I'm going to do a little bit on that last. The handhold should be a split piece of harder wood. Various things like stone or bone are also used sometimes. To get this started, other than maybe taking the edges off and shaping this a little bit so it's a little more comfortable in the hand, really what you mostly need to do is find the direct center, and using your tip, which be very careful with the tip work, don't do it on your body. Be aware that if you have a knife that folds, you could close it on your hands, which is dangerous, so you want to do kind of a rotating motion to scoop out a slight depression. Really, it shouldn't take much more than just a little bit of work done carefully to get some kind of a little depression in the center that will be enough to hold the spindle when we shape that, get you to keep it in place. The fireboard is also very simple to get set up. You should have received, or should be able to find, a flat board of similarly degraded basswood. It should be a similar hardness to the spindle. I'll usually flatten it out with the axe a little bit. You can just do all the work, especially if you thin it down like this. You should be able to do all the work with the knife as well. But basically it's just squaring up the faces and flattening it down to one thickness, so that and flattening it down so it sits flat on the ground. So that's about all that we need to do with that, is get it flat and thinned out a little bit. Even if some of it's rough, that's totally fine. So that's about all we really need to worry about with that. Not much, just about a 7/8 thickness, maybe just shy of an inch. And this is big enough for 2 rows of holes. You could also split it down to about 1.5 inches. That'd be enough for 1 row of holes. It would be easier to work with just a knife if you don't have access to a axe that's sharp and ready to do that work. The spindle, this is about 1 inch by inch chunk, and all that what I'm going to focus on doing initially is squaring up, carving from my side of the halfway mark out so I don't have a thick middle left. But I'm going to work to square this up and get it down to approximately like 1 inch by inch cross section. And I'm going to do just a little bit of this, and then I'm going to have it cleanly down to that 1 inch by inch for the next video. But what I'm going to first stress to you is looking down the piece, making sure it stays nice and straight, and nice clean controlled cuts away from you, power strokes away from you, as would be called in carving strokes. Getting it down to about 1 inch by inch. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then the next one I'm going to show you these coming together into the set.